and welcome back to Spect. It's time for more building, painting, hobby and some crafting. I hope that during this time that you are okay and you are safe and your loved ones also the same. I wish you all the best and hope you keep well during this time. I know I've been posting more recently, but this is kind of like the final part to close off due to the delay that we had, and also we've got a little bit of isolation time, so we can utilize that time fairly well. Maybe it's like the first time in a long time, a nice bit of honest hobby time without feeling guilty for the time that you're spending. So let's make that happen for us. Let's get this open, let's put it all together, and we'll go from there. First things first, I have this semi-transparent sprue here, and this is the hover stand for the Repulsor. There you go, simple fit there. See that? And it goes onto this base. So that's it for the final part of the Repulsor. I did say before that this is equivalent of a bottle top on a 100mm base, so you can make that out of cardboard. I'll probably make one just to show you what it looks like as an alternative, and you know, you can still utilize it. Only reason why I mention that is because if you don't get this particular issue, number 78, and you just miss out on that stand, so if you went on eBay and you saw those first 3 issues, you could still buy this and then get away with making your own stand. It's really simple. Alright, let's have a look at the magazine. So, the final part of our Repulsor. I wonder what they're going to have in here. Okay. Nice looking colour there. We've got a nice frame here with the kind of orange fire intensity. We've got a little bit of blue there. I like the little blue light shining through here. And a silver Templar's Impulsor. Looking really good. They're trying to tell us that it's, you know, one base. There you go, 100mm base stand, and it's part 4 of the Repulsor. So again, if you have picked this up, or if you're looking to go on eBay to get multiple parts, you really want to get the previous 3 parts to this and save yourself a little bit of change, unless you're getting the whole thing. So what do we have? We have a whole amount of lore going on there. Look at that. And we're looking at impulsors. That's quite different. We've got the Rolling Thunder mission, and we are definitely going to be using the Repulsor. Look, we've got the rules there. Oh, finally. Okay, I have got the Space Marines Codex and the Blood Angels Codex, but still, I just want to see. You know, I like my data sheets. Okay, so we've got information on Inquisition here. Is this a particular character I'm looking at? Is that Lord Cortez? I think it is. Anyway, so the Inquisition are the people which govern the actions of the Imperium. You do have different branches, and if you think about the old school Spanish Inquisition, where they'll go out and do what they need to do to burn heretics and witches, this is pretty much what these guys set out to do. There's a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of red tape, and at the same time there are events that can occur on a planet close to another one, an Imperium, that might be heavily fortified and the other planet isn't. And until the red tape is kind of ticked off and the munitions are sent to that planet, and it could take 50 to 100 years, it could be a bit late before the support is actually sent, before they get the green light. So sometimes Imperial forces are turned up to a planet which has been totally decimated for like 100 years. And when they're there, they just kind of reintegrate that planet because there's no occupying forces there. It's kind of being eaten out by Tyranids or other forces. Right, so what we got here? So the Aldo Malleus, Hereticus, and Xenos, so the people that hunt those particular things. The Inquisitors, these guys go out and about and investigate unusual circumstances. Imagine a cyborg version of Malleus Scolder. There you go. Except what happens is they don't turn around and look away at the wrong time. What these guys do is they turn around and see the thing which is causing the issues and instantly destroy the whole planet. Well, near enough, most times. Then we have the Officio Assassinorum. Okay, so with these guys, you have trained assassins. These guys are enhanced in multiple different ways to deal with different particular creatures, or shall I say enemies of the Imperium. Sometimes it can be people from inside the Imperium themselves which they will hunt down. They are very hardcore. When it comes to gameplay, they don't necessarily function as well. The mechanics don't seem quite right. I mean, these guys are trained to take out pretty much anyone, but when you put them in front of a squad of like 10 Space Marines, you know, bolt of fire does put them down. but they are pretty cool characters. There was a box set that came out a while back which had all 4 of these models in one box, and it was kind of like Blackstone Fortress. So you had the cultists on the board, you moved them around, a combination of Blackstone Fortress and Space Hulk. And I didn't purchase it. It was £100 in Games Workshop, and I thought it was a bit much for 4 assassins and, you know, the cultists. But it was an interesting game, and I think that was truly the precursor for Blackstone Fortress and Warhammer Quest, is it? The ye olde looking ones. But anyway, there's the equipment, the weapons, the way that they're built and structured. You hear a lot about the Collectus Assassin doing work, and the Vindicare with his sniper abilities. I was watching one game, I think it was a bat rep with, who was it? Oh, I can't remember. I think it was made with Tabletop Tactics or SEO Winters, one of the two. And they did a headshot, and this headshot effectively multiplied the wounds. It went from like 1 mortal wound to 2 mortal wounds, and then 6 mortal wounds, and it took out an Eldar flyer in one shot. It was amazing. Okay, Sisters of Silence. We are going to see these guys fairly soon back on the table. Now I've got a whole bunch of Sisters of Silence, and I just really want to use them. Beforehand, I used to work alongside the Custodes as the Emperor's Talon, and there was a book that came out on Black Library which I was reading, and it showed you that these guys were kind of like sent across the galaxy to deal with lots of different missions to keep them away from the planet, because they made people feel really uncomfortable. They're blanks, so they're kind of like soulless, and when they stand near people they feel uncomfortable. Psychers start getting headaches, and you know, their skin starts crawling and all that cool stuff. So when you combine them alongside the Custodes are like the spirit of humanity and whatnot. They even make them uncomfortable, which is pretty cool. But when they fight together, because one went off into galaxy and the other stayed on Terra, which is Custodes, they have like a unique kind of melding of combat systems that have, it's almost like it was pre-programmed to work extremely well by the Emperor in the beginning, even though they were separated by all this time and space, to function as a really cohesive unit. Now, when it got to 8th edition, they didn't really put the rules to function together too well for these characters. So they kind of got left off to the side, and I thought it was such a big mistake. When the Sisters of Battle book came out, I was expecting these guys to kind of like have, you know, their little entry in there, but they haven't. Now, recently, the Black Library released a model kit which had a Custodes shield captain or general, and the head sister, I can't remember her name in particular, but it was like the lead sister which was there, and they have to be fielded together as a unit. So in 8th edition, if you're fielding multiple different kind of different armies, you lose additional bonuses that you get in the background. So they said that they will fix that through keywording of Talon of the Emperor, so I want to see what's going to happen. Long story short, I'm getting carried away, is I want to see these guys alongside my Custodes again. That's it. That's just what I really want. They're great against effective against psychers and psychic attacks and whatnot, but I really want them for that aesthetic look. They look brilliant. If I find a couple, I'll put them together and show you. I think I did it in the showcase anyway. So talking to showcases, so there's a variety of different models there. I've always found, some of these are unusual for grouping together, but they are what they are. We have the assassins there, and this is, hey, come and buy me. So there you go, Sisters of Silence. See, that's what I'm talking about. So mine look closer to this, but they're just chromed out. Yeah, I like that. See that? Just, yeah. Okay. All right. Back to Nergal again. So we're looking at Nergal's normals. What these are? Oh, these trees are feculent normals. These are like the trees in the garden. I don't really know how they play out in 40k, as I haven't come across them. In Age of Sigmar I have, and they give bonuses to charge, etc. So I haven't looked too hard at that. Okay, Impulsors. These are the equivalent to rhinos if you think of like how you've got like the Predator tanks would be the Repulsors. Maybe now it would be the Repulsor Executioner tanks, but keep drifting off here. They're more. These are more like the transports, so the Rhinos. So that's their primary job. The coolest thing about these, I wasn't so much a fan of the design. The coolest thing about them is that they have like a what's the name of it now? A void shield. There we go. So they have like a 4-up invulnerable. You can embark and disembark the characters. I think it's at the end of the motion, and they can still move at the end of movement. I think that's really brilliant, and you know, these are sweet, and I might have to grab 1 or 3. I'll just keep quiet. Stats there, rating. It's more about travel, dropping people off. Got a high speed, and they look great. You can kit them out like how you would kit out a Razorback with additional equipment and firepower, or you can go for the protective options. That's really good. Storm Raven gunships. This is one of the first ships that I built, and these are like land raiders in the air. They're tough, loads of missiles, weaponry, carry capacity. These are just the first target on the table. If you see one, just fire at it. It sounds bad, but it is what it is. Okay, so we've got our Tech Marines there. Look, you've got our Blood Angels there. Yes, go on. Go on, Blood Angels. Go on, 9th Legion. You see, there you go. They couldn't resist it. More 9th Legion there. Okay. So back to McCrag. What are we looking at here? 13th Crusade. So we're looking old lore there. Tyrannic Wars, Plague Wars. So that's just building up our history section really well. So there was quite a bit of lore in there. I did yammer on and kind of tie my gums, but look. Okay. So we've got our mission here. Now, I've noticed that with these mission packs now, rather than it just being the initial page itself, they're giving you a little bit more about the deployment, the terrain and whatnot, even down to positioning. So that's really good. A battle in no man's land. Yeah, okay. Let's have a look, see what we've got here. We've got 60 power, so we're creeping up nicely. I would like to see points, actual points rather than power rating, but you know what? If you're just using the magazine, it is what it is. If you've got your codexes, you would have worked it out by now, and you definitely would have fixed that. So let's see. What have we got to have? No, I thought... Wait, what? No way. Am I looking at this wrong? They're not even requesting you have the repulsor there. No, you don't have to. Well, put it this way: put the repulsor on the Space Marine side, and they should win, unless they go for 2 Blade Burst tanks. Then it might even out. That looks okay. Okay, so that's the mission. I thought that would be anyway. Imaginations and whatnot. Repulsor sheet. Okay, so the repulsor. This is all of the weaponry it has and options it has, and my goodness. It takes almost 10 minutes to roll out these dice for these monsters. Look, do yourself a favor, get multiple colored dice and just set them aside for the color of the weaponry and just have them prepared. You know, like this stack of 20 dice is for my repulsor, and just leave them there till you fire and just roll them all at once. It will save you a lot of time, because that thing could take ages. You may even see some battle reports on YouTube where people will legitimately tell you, we'll fire the repulsor and we'll get back to you, and they'll just pause the video and come back, so you may notice that. But this thing is tough as nails. Look, toughness 8. That's crazy. Look at all the weaponry, it's just ridiculous. Okay, yeah, we'll just leave that there. Even repulsor field, look. Reduction of charging, hover tank, yeah. Carry capacity, okay. Just a quick reminder, you can't carry standard Marines in here. But if you've got Janus Drek from Blackstone Fortress, you could pop him in there, because he has a writ of transport from the Inquisition. Right, okay. Stores. Currently, stores are open at this time, but, you know, with the events going on, that might not be a thing. I don't know how you guys are getting on with hobbying. You might want to solo out a couple of games of Blackstone Fortress, or just play through the missions you've seen here. You know, just set it up, it should be fine. Next issue of Conquest. These are the last 2 parts, and we are going to get that structure. That's a shame. I thought we was going to get 1 in each magazine, but if it's a 1 sprue, or you know, 1 model for 2 magazines, okay, it is what it is. Okay, so that's a magazine. Let's have a look at my Repulsor. And here she is. This is one of the most tedious and difficult models I've ever had to build. But it's one of the most beautiful and amazing. It has so much detail on the weaponry and guns. It's just so impressive. It took me about 3 hours to build. 3 days to build, about 3 hours a time. And that was in the evenings when I was exhausted. Maybe I have a cup of tea, etc. And I'll be building as I'm doing it. And that's after the time baby goes to bed and, you know, spoken to the missus and whatnot. And just get that little bit of time. So 2 hours at night, maybe 1 in the morning just before work. And here she is. I think I'll just keep quiet and let it speak for itself. There is one additional thing I will say. I will be giving away, for the 500 giveaway, copies issues 75, 76 and 77 of Conquest. They will be posted out. I don't know when they'll get to their location, wherever that may be during this time, but I will give them away. And that'll give you something else to do, hobby time, for one lucky winner. All you have to do to enter that, to get 1 additional chance, is to add in Space Station Spect into the comments below, and that'd be fantastic. That will give you an additional opportunity. In the actual 500 video giveaway that I'll be doing, there'll be 2 additional ways that you can add a chance to win. So that will give you 3 if you complete all of them, and 4 if you find the secret one, which is really taking place in another video. I know you can hear the door creaking. So either way, this has been Spect. I've enjoyed my time. I hope you've enjoyed your time. And as always,
peace.